Yeah, Kirby, 2 days in, just how's practice been so far this week?
It's been good. Feels a little crisp and cooler in the air. Hadn't been as hot. Guys have been spirited. Know it's a big matchup, and good day of about a little over an hour work Monday, and then about an hour and a half, 2 hours today, and just finishing up. So they've been in good spirits.
Coach, being that Gunner's been such a popular topic of conversation this week, what else kind of stood out about him in practice, kind of how's he been doing, going into his first road start?
Well, we've only had 2 days. Very similar, Monday, Tuesday that we've had in the weeks past. Good decision maker, protecting the ball, taking care of the ball, making good decisions. But it's been very similar to recent weeks in terms of his work.
Yeah. Yeah, Coach, how have you seen this Tennessee offense evolve over the last several years under Heupel?
Yeah, it's hard to say because, they have different kind of ways to attack you defensively. They don't do the same thing year to year. I think he utilizes the skill sets of that offense. They've had different types of wideouts, different types of quarterbacks, different types of backs. They do what good coaches do. They utilize the skill sets of the good players. I think they've, used wrinkles from other teams. They get all this tape of teams that play against you, and there's certain plays that maybe don't fit their offensive philosophy, but they're good plays, and then they turn them into theirs and do a good job, mixing like everybody does. We call it copycatting, but they'll look at plays and say that play really works. How do we make it work for us? And I think he's done a great job of that over the years.
With the SEC expanding to 9 games next year, it's not guaranteed that you guys are going to continue to play Tennessee annually. Just from your time with this rivalry, is there something that stood out about what this rivalry means, particularly to the University of Georgia?
There's so many rivalries because of our state. It's an area in Georgia geographically that it's obviously the most important primary opponent we play. Now, you talk to somebody in South Georgia or West Georgia, they might not feel the same way, but they all have their passion and energy. It's a historic rivalry because it's been so many years played over time, and it's a lot of big games. During Coach Rick's era, during Coach Donna's era, been a lot of big games played between Tennessee and Georgia. So there's not a lot more I can say than that. Like the all those border wars are big time rivalries.
Yeah, you talked yesterday about embracing the physicality in its first SEC game, things like that. How have you seen kind of the offensive line get ready for that challenge through the first couple of days of practice this week?
Yeah, being physical. I mean, they've got a physical defensive line that comes off, hits you, and we've been physical at practice. I think it's important. I don't think you can say, all right, well let's go out here and rest up and take it easy for the game. I mean, if you want to have physicality, you got to reflect it. It would be unjust for me to not have them be as physical as they need to be at times during the week to put them out there in a situation that's going to be extremely physical. And you got to have enough left in the tank, but you got to test the tank and make sure that you're calloused and tough and physical.
Coach, after the game Saturday, you said it's going into the next week. It's not 100,000 versus 11. It's 11 on 11. What are some of the specific things that you've done over the offseason to kind of prepare the team for that?
Yeah, we don't do a lot in the offseason to prepare for crowd noise and things like that. We do practice with it during the spring, but I do it all the time because I don't like both sides of the ball hearing each other talk and make their calls. So I think it's important to have crowd noise during that, and then we ramp it up as we get closer to road games. But the overall mantra and overall mental mindset and makeup of our offseason program is to play with toughness and composure and try to win more moments than the opponent. And there's going to be a lot of moments in this game, and you may lose one or two, but we're just trying to win more moments. And if we can win more moments, then we increase our chances. If we worry about past lost moments or future moments, we can't focus on the current. So we literally just focus on that.
What have Ernest and Juan been able to do so far this week?
Yeah, they both done some individual work, done some work against some scouts and things, and they're both moving around. Not sure where they'll stand. I get to go watch the tape of what they did today here in a few minutes, but they moved around pretty good in Indy.
I know you're not over there with that program, but based on your experience, how do you think Aguilar's been able to gel with that offense seamlessly?
Yeah, it looks like he has on tape. I mean, it's like he's been there for a long time. He's very similar to the quarterbacks they've had. He plays within that system. He's a really good athlete. He can take off and really hurt you with the scramble. He's made some big plays on the scramble. He plays within the system. He throws the RPOs well. Makes good decisions, accurate, very strong arm, which their offense requires. So he fits in well.
Getting back to Ernest for a second, with his experience, do you miss that, with the line, given that a lot of those guys are kind of, becoming starters full-time for the first time? And was Jazeer Jackson also a little banged up?
Yeah, Jazeer got banged up on, I think it was the second drive. It was after the drive with the fumble, the opening drive. He got a lateral ankle. He felt like he could go, and he was struggling to move around on it, and it was hurting him. But he pushed through because we were down some guys, and it's been bothering him even this week. But he keeps pushing through. Do we miss Ernest? Yeah, we miss Ernest if he's not out there and in the game. But he was over on the sideline leading, talking to guys, and trying to help Jazeer.
Yeah, what have you been able to see out of Joseph, Jonah, and Ajonye through these first two games so far?
Yeah, a lot of want to, desire. He plays hard. He had some nice plays down there on the goal line. He's really tough. He's strong-handed. He's physical, contact tough, and he continues to get better within the system. I think his play stamina is getting better where he can play more snaps.
Yeah, we're going to talk to Kyron in a little bit. Just what he started the first couple of games. What have you seen from him just so far this year, and what challenges do the safeties specifically face against the Tennessee offense that likes to spread teams out?
Yeah, space. The problem with Tennessee's offense is that everybody's one-on-one every play. They just put you out on an island, and you have weaknesses. They can expose them very quickly. So it's challenging to try to present them with issues and complications. But Kyron's been great. He's had a good camp. He's been in our system now for, I guess, 3 years. And anytime you've got somebody that's been in your system for 3 years, they kind of know the checks and balances, and they know how to make calls and how to adjust things and what to expect. And he's physical. He's a good tackler. He's fast. And those three qualities make for, good defensive backs.
Coach, you've coached and you've played in, some of these big games like this one, and just what's the balance as a coach trying to get these guys to not make this the Super Bowl, but then also make it, to where they're focused enough to be able to handle the assignments they're asked to do?
Yeah, just live in the moment. I don't get ahead of myself. There's going to be big games after this one. There was last year. Welcome to the SEC, where it seems like every team's ranked and every team's got a ranked opponent every week. It's just a physical gauntlet, and there are no easy pathways. So I don't get too caught up in one game. I try to look at it like every game's a big game, and we'll get ready for the next one when the next one's up.
You made a comment after, I think it was the first game, that you want to lead the country in guys with 25 to 30 snaps. Or I'm sorry, you wanted to have 25 to 30 guys with 100-plus snaps on defense. How valuable is playable depth kind of going against an offense that does like to run tempo and can run tempo?
Yeah, it's valuable when you got guys that can go in the game and play and stay fresh if you don't drop off in play. The problem is, getting those guys, that many guys, quality reps against it. So it's hard to prepare, more than 22 guys because you're getting ones and twos, and you try to make your defense simple enough that you can execute it and play it and have more people play. But I don't know. They complicate things sometimes with the tempo, and they try to dummy you down, and limit what you do, and it does, to a sense, do that to you.
Coach, Tennessee announced already they'd be without their starting cornerbacks. How does that adjust? How did their absence impact your offensive game plan and attack?
Yeah, I don't know that it does. They've had the same corners playing since the first game, so they got good corners. The two kids they got playing are good players. I think a lot of people look into those things and read into them sometimes. When you got good players that are playing and have played, it just becomes more experience. So I don't know how much it changes anything for us.
Yeah, I think Kyron was mainly, I think, a running back in high school. Todd Robinson played quarterback for Valdosta. Like, as coaches, how do y'all evaluate those guys playing different positions to how they could fit here, and what are the challenges of getting those guys up to speed once they do get on campus?
Yeah, size, speed is how we evaluate them. If they've got size and speed, it's a criteria for that position. Toughness would be in there too, and I think it's hard to take a kid that plays quarterback and move him to defensive positions if he's just a quarterback. But Todd had some physicality to him. Kyron had physicality to him from being a running back, and it's a requirement that you got to be able to tackle. So everybody thinks a good athlete quarterback can play anything. It doesn't always equate if that's all the kid played growing up. But most of these kids that play quarterback nowadays have played multiple positions growing up.
Question about Dontrell Glover, coach, being that he was not an early enrollee, got here a little later. What can you kind of put into context what he's done to earn the trust of coaches to give himself this early opportunity he's had so far?
Well, he's practiced the best. I mean, that's why you earn things at Georgia is what you do in practice, and he's nowhere near where he needs to be, and he knows that. But he is strong-handed. He is tough and fiery. He is quick. He's a quick learner. But you can imagine a guy like Jared, Dillon, and Tate being here 3 and 4 years, some of them before they started, and that kid's being thrown out there right now. It just tells you, where he is as an intelligence and where we are in depth.
Monroe got to start some last year when Ernest was banged up. How big do you feel like that was for Monroe's development and just what you've seen from him through 2 games this year?
Yeah, confidence, understanding where his help is, development. He works really hard. He works hard on his body. He works hard on leading. He's been a very consistent piece and continue to lead our group and push.
Coach, you guys have had multiple guys playing that right guard spot and the right tackle spot. Just can you tell me how important Drew Bobo has been, just being able to help those 2 guys or multiple guys that have been there at the right guard spot?
Yeah, Drew's been a huge bright spot for us because his quickness, his intelligence, his awareness. I think he understands what defenses are doing very well. He's a really good athlete. He handles people on top of him, and he handles 4 down when he's sometimes a puller. I mean, he does a really good job athletically in space, getting on people and knowing leverage of things. But he communicates well for the quarterback. He's the leader in terms of making calls and directions up there, and he comforts those guys on the right side.
Kirby, how would you assess the run defense so far heading into this challenge?
Yeah, it's been good. I would say that it really hasn't been challenged, but I promise you it will be this time because these guys are good at it. They know what they're doing. They know how to attack you, and they have wrinkles, and they do a really good job. You better be able to strike blocks and get off blocks and tackle people because they're very physical.
Have time for one more question. Coach, do you notice a difference, does it get to a point where loud is just really loud, or do you notice a difference at places like Neyland where there's extra people and there's a little bit of extra decibels and that affects your offense?
Oh, loud affects your offense. It affects your ability to communicate. The communication goes down the line a lot of times, and you got to talk all the way out, and there's communication between parts of the offense that have to happen, and loud most certainly affects that. And Neyland's one of the loudest. When we played in some loud places last year, and it affected communication. So you have to be smart. You have to, when you game plan, you can't maybe do quite as much as you could do at home. You just have to be smart about what you ask guys to communicate and say, because it can be frustrating, and it's loud is loud. I mean, at some point it's deafening, but they have extremely loud environment, and we've got to push through it. Like, there's nothing you can do about that. What you can do is focus on your task during the week so that you don't have to question what you're doing in that environment.